Hello, lovely souls. Welcome to the Conversation with MJ, where we are going to embark on a journey of connection, growth, discovery together. I'm your host, MJ, and I'm thrilled to have you join me on this exhilarating ride through realms of inspiration, wisdom, and insight. So, we're going to deep dive into the heart of what it means to live a fulfilling life, to pursue our passions, and to unlock our greatest potential. Each episode is a celebration of human connection and a testament to the power of authenticity and a reminder that we are all on this journey together. So get ready to be inspired, get ready to be empowered, and get ready to ignite your inner fire because here at Conversations with MJ, the adventure never ends. So join us with every moment an opportunity to shine. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, please leave a comment, and the show will be starting shortly. See you soon.
Hello, hello, hello. How are everyone doing? I hope you're having a lovely Saturday. I am at work, so I am also still streaming from my phone before I actually head in. But thank you, everyone who's coming in. Please hit the like, comment, and subscribe. I'm only going to pull your ear for a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to let y'all enjoy the rest of your Saturday. So, if you want to know, there's some current news that's been going on, and I wanted to share you just in case if you're not up to date with a lot of things, right? There is a new ruling that happened with the Texas law in regards of the education. So they have approved that now the Bible will be taught in particular schools who's accepting the religious curriculum, which is called the Blue Bonnet curriculum. So if you're in Texas and you don't know what the Blue Bonnet curriculum is, that is when they are now implicating uh, Christianity or Bible teachings within the school. Now they are getting a lot of pushback from it, even from both sides. This is not only just Democrats pushing against this and saying that this is unconstitutional. There are actually Republicans also are saying that this is unconstitutional, right? But I do have an article for you guys to look at it. Hold on, let me pull it up real quick. Okay. All right. Hope y'all can see this. Okay. So if you look at this right here, it's really saying from I don't know, wait, can you see it that way? Hold on, let me put it this way. Okay. So CNN is saying Texas education officials have approved pretty much the Bible school curriculum or the curriculum that incorporates the Bible lessons. Like I said, that is the Blue Bonnet curriculum. A lot of people are saying that it's unconstitutional because even though it does touch on other religions, is highly mainly focused on teaching Christianity, and this is for kids ages 10 to 5. and it feels that it's unconstitutional. It goes against the religions versus state, right? Like how religion and state is supposed to be separate, or church and state is supposed to be separate. It goes against that of the Constitution. They're saying, the people who are agreeing with this, they're saying that it's not something that is forced. Every district in Texas, they have their own, like, I guess, their own local government, right? So they can decide whether or not in those schools, if they want to use this curriculum or not. However, the reason why other people and other law makers are actually questioning if this is acceptable, due to the simple fact that the schools or the districts that actually decides to take on this curriculum, they are getting incentivized to do it. Meaning, any school district in down there in Texas, if they take on the Blue Bonnet curriculum, they are getting more money and more funding versus the ones who do not accept this curriculum, because it's a violation of accepting all religions or people who are not religious and in the school, and actually being taught something that should actually really be taught within your household. Should be, it really depends on the family what they want to do. Hey, Miss Jalen, how you doing? They should decide, right? It should be the community. Should be the church community. It should be the parents that decide if what religion, or if religion is even going to be something that they want their child to actually learn, and not enforce with the other curriculums that the child needs to learn, as into to get to the next grade, or however get accreditation from that particular school. And I think that we should really be mindful of that, because of the simple fact is that we know that this country is built on many different other religions, right? Many different other religions. We say that we are accepting of everybody's religion, and whatever you preach and stuff like that. You're not going to tell somebody, what to preach in their home, right? But when you are actually implementing it inside the school, the issue is that is indoctrination. So, for example, if you have children who is Jewish, children who are follow the Islamic faith, or even a family who is agnostic, you're now indoctrinating their children while they children spend most of their time in school, right? Because in this country, your parents have to work, right? So this is why they have public schools and stuff like that. Is somewhat to teach kids, and somewhat as a pretty much a free daycare, right? So you're now indoctrinating children to probably might not, probably, go against whatever the teachings that is going on in said family household, right? We don't know that. So this is a big thing. I think people need to worry about that, because if they are indoctrinating a particular religion, which it would be Protestant Christianity religion, on kids from ages 10 to 5, what else are they going to be down the pipeline? Are they going to be indoctrinating into these kids who are in school, whether it's public or even if it's like charter school, right? What else are they going to do? Because this is always tends to be the setup that when one thing happens in the next minute, now this is an issue, now this is an issue. And then also to also focus on it too, anybody who's a part of, when it comes down to the POC community, Black community, whatever not, we understand, like, even though we are heavily based, a lot of us are Christians, regardless, but there is a lot of, you know, not truths about enslaved people and things that I saw that is also can be preached in the Bible, and this is being preached to younger kids who don't understand and will not understand the difference between things that are a lie and that things are factual. So this is something that we have to pay attention to. Me personally, if I was in Texas, and if you have the capability to remove your kids out of these public schools and stuff like that, I think that y'all should do that now. This will be more than the best time to actually just home train, get IEP plan set together, send it to the Board of Education down there, whatever. Not let them know that you are going to be home training your kids, and that you will submit a curriculum for them, and you will test them and stuff like that, just so you know what your kids are being taught. Okay, like they give you a outline of what the curriculum is. However, we know that what the curriculum is approved of in these schools does not necessarily uh, gets taught the way that it's supposed to when they're in these individual classrooms with these individual teachers, because these individual teachers have their own teaching methods and tactics of how they reach children, right? So you want to be mindful of that. Okay, let's see. Jalen says, I saw people say that the school are built like, yeah, and a lot of the schools are looking very similar to that. A lot of the schools are looking like institutions, and very similar to prison-like institutions. So you want to just be mindful of that as well. But I wanted to show that article to you guys because this is what's going down in the pipeline, and things are moving quickly, very, very fast, that we thought that wasn't going to move fast. But the reason why this also bothers me, here's another situation that happened on the news. I'm about to pull this one up. So this wasn't being talked about much. So let me see. I don't think y'all can really see it. Let me see if I can pull it down a little bit for you guys. All right. So if you see, this was an article that there is a bunch of black students that used to go to this high school, Meade High School. This is from Sacramento newspaper. They are suing the school because they were hazed hazed, sexually assaulted, bullied, and racially discriminated against while they were in a football camp, right? So what happened to these four? There was four black boys and one white boy. So in this football camp at this high school, they had stayaways, right? So they had stayaways for training and stuff like that. And during the stayaways, the black students who was on the football team would get literally basically dragged in the middle of the night from their room, and by other players. We don't know necessarily whether they were white or black, whatever, not, but what they would do is they will sexually assault these black players, right? And in the most gruesome way, actually, they would take a massage gun and insert it in their genitals, and or even between their anus and things of that sort. And all of this was reported to the coaches. All of this was reported to the administrator of the schools, and they did nothing. They did absolutely nothing for these boys. And then the taunting got so bad because they would call them monkeys and stuff like that. Oh, look, the monkeys ain't screaming now. I guess we need to do that often. And they thought that this was a ritual. This was like a hazing ritual to be a part of the team, right? So the schools were told, the coaches were told, they didn't do anything. So eventually the parents got involved and removed the kids. Now, another instance is that these same team players, they thought that this was something that they was going to do for every black student who decided to join the football thing. And at one time, there was a white team player where they had ran up on and asked them where was the where are the other black students, and so they could participate in this quote unquote hating ritual. And because the white student was trying to save the other black kids and not have them experience and endure what the other four kids experience, they ended up sexually assaulting him too, in the same way that they did the black boys. So now all of them have gone together. They have this big lawsuit against the school, big lawsuit against the coaches. The coaches had decided that they were going to quote unquote talk to these hazers and tell them, hey, listen, the things that you do can prevent you from getting into college. Because what added insult to injury, that these sexual assaults were actually videotaped, and they were spread around Facebook Live, IG Live, and all the stuff like that. So so pretty much it's a big issue right now. They're actually protesting for these said individuals, these students, and I think this is horrible, right? But what this is all reminding me of, this is all reminding me of about how when they talk about they want to go back to the good old days and the back in the days and stuff like that, and they swear up and down that back in the days everything was good, we was all wholesome, everything was whatever, not right. This is the talking point as into why the country needed to get back on board. Well, let me show you a couple examples of what was happening back in the day that it make it seem like it was so rainbows and sunset. Okay, let me show you another image. Hey Ariel, hey Miss Lana, how you doing? Okay, so do anybody know who this lady is? If you know who this lady is, put a one in the chat. If you know what movie this reference, put one in the chat. This is for my old heads. I want to see if my old heads know. Okay, put a one in the chat if you know. So the ones who don't know, this is this her name is Cottrell. I think Cottrell Blackwell. I think that's her name is, right? She is, you'll know her from Sex and the City. Okay, that is Samantha from Sex and the City. This is when she was young, right? And the first movie that actually gave her her stardom and stuff like that was a movie called Porky's. On my old head, do y'all remember the movie Porky's, right? I'm gonna show you another image. So the movie Porky's was back in 1981. Okay, so they had three series, three movies. It was Porky's, Porky's Revenge, and Porky's 3. Right? So Porky's 2 and Porky's 3. Now these movies, now when you actually look them up and search, they are considered sex comedies for the 1980s. In fact, that's what wasn't what they were called back in the 1980s. These movies were heavily focused on coming to age for young adults, high schoolers, mind you, right? And this is all these type of movies back in the 80s was, okay? Like I said, these movies explicit stalking, explicit sexual assault, sexual harassment, explicit basically fraternization, explicit prostitution, explicit, all these things that are deemed criminal now, all of these things was happening in these movies back in the 1980s, and they were chugged up to make it seem like all of this was a joke. This was fun. This was coming to age. Boys will be boys. This is where that boys will be boys type of scenario is. So I think this is what they're trying to get back to, right? They're trying to get back to when things like this was considered, oh, fun. It's just a joke. It's just a joke. Oh, you being a peeping Tom in women's lockers rooms and things that I saw. That's just what boys do. Boys will be boys, right? Boys will be boys. You going around chasing women and trying to touch their butt. Boys will be boys, right? Let's show you another one, right? Because I'm going to show you some cult classics from the 1980s if people like to tend to forget, right? How about this one? Who remember this movie? Zapped, right? Zap. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Everything was sex comedy, all that, but it was all catered to our young adults. It was all catered to make our young adults highly or high, well, I would say hypersexual, right? Hypersexual and hyposexualized, and we were literally throw it under the rug as if this is just the coming of age. Women being violated and being run after to be have sex with and all the stuff like that was just the coming of age. Boys being boys, and this is where I'm telling you they're trying to get back to. They're trying to make this acceptable, this behavior acceptable again. What about this movie, huh? The Pickup Summer, right? School's out and everything's in. Yeah. Get into it. Let's get into it. Right? How about this one? Stuck on You. Uh-huh, yeah. Who remember these 80s movie? Yes, exactly, Jalen. Fast Time and Richmond High. Yep. Failure Beauty is off. Yep. Weird Science. Yes, exactly, Ariel. Absolutely. Absolutely. The American Pies. Yeah, but here's the funny thing about the American Pies, Ariel. The American Pies is not as raunchy as the 1980s ones, okay? Because in the 1980s one, they were actually showing boobs and stuff. They were showing penises. They were showing vagina. They were showing all this stuff like that. Everything was all sexually affiliated. Oh, it was about somebody losing their virginity, somebody doing running around having a vacation or a summer vacation that they had to lose their virginity at this time. You know what I'm saying? Oh Lord, here go Chris J. Here go Chris J. I remember those days, those yeah, whatever. I bet you do, right? Look at this one. The First Turn On. You know what's so funny about this? Because I actually did research, right? A lot of these cult classics, because I'm not gonna front, I enjoyed these movies back then. I enjoyed those movies back then. That's my childhood. So I didn't know. I didn't know that, that what they were actually really getting. I knew that was raunchy. Don't get me wrong. I wasn't like naive. I knew that was raunchy, but I didn't know that this is what they was trying to indoctrinate back then too. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know that it was indoctrinating all this sexuality that we love to just like peg it on to hip hop culture. We try to peg it on to the black culture or the only culture that has been doing this. No, absolutely not. The only culture that is or that is circulating sexual assault and sexual harassment and hypersexuality as something that is normal. No, absolutely not. This has been going on for quite some time. Do you know that these women that was quote unquote supposed to be playing high schoolers, do you know most of them um was what you call Playboy bunnies? I did the research. Most of these women are Playboy bunnies. They were the Playboy bunnies of the 1960s and the 1970s, right? So, because a lot of these movies that was done in the 1980s, that were sex comedies, they were actually the how can I put it? The storyline was supposed to be 1950s, 1960. Hey, Emola, thank you, darling. Good to see you. Good to see you, sweetheart. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, you only seen American Pie like once? Yeah, yeah. I mean, I like the first American Pie. I thought it was funny. After a while, it just started to just get redundant to me, really. It really did. How about this one? Let's check this one out. Who remember this one? Screwballs. Screwballs. Yes. Uh-huh. Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. I remember Jalen school days and she gotta have it. Yeah, exactly. But I'm talking about more of the real raunchy type of videos, right? The real raunchy one, like Private Resort. Private Resort was the first movie that what's his name? Oh my god, what is his name? Johnny Depp. There you go. Private Resort was Johnny Depp's first movie. That movie was all about them going on a vacation. I think it was to Myrtle Beach or Miami Beach, and it was all about trying to get laid for the summer, right? All about trying to get laid for the summer. Who remember the movie Meatballs? Meatballs is one of them too. And here's one of my last images to show you guys. School spirit. Look at that. School spirit. So again, we for forever, it's been 30 years and plus more that we have been promoting sexual harassment, sexual assault, hypersexuality amongst young adults. Amongst young adults. So this is why we can't just say it's just only one culture, it's just only what that's been pushing it. No, no. We have a culture behind that. Yes, police academy, yes, all of that, right? This is what we've been doing, guys, right? So when you wonder why there's sexual assault, high sexual assault that's happening in school, high sexual harassment that's happening in school, a lot of hypersexuality in school, you have these prom girl, you have these high schoolers and junior high schoolers when they go to prom, they looking like grown women, like the age of 35, 45, whatever not. They don't even look like kids anymore. Then you can start to understand where the conditioning happened, right? Because if you've been conditioning their parents to be moving like this, why? What else is their parents going to do? They're going to pass down those things, okay? They're going to pass it down. Yeah, exactly. That too, Jim and Jalen. That too. Yeah, and it's funny because like I used to I was kind of, I was definitely sheltered. I was I was sheltered as in like I knew all this stuff, but I would, is ain't no way. Like my father would not have allowed me to do any of that. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So this is what is like. This is what I want y'all to pay attention to, right? Because again, if they're sitting up there and then now they want to incorporate Christianity and indoctrinate from kindergarten to 5. Eventually, those times where we had Richmond Fast Time and Richmond High and all those type of movies and stuff like that, you don't think that those type of indoctrination can happen with our junior high school and our high school again? You don't think that they possibly are trying to get our younger adults to mate and have children earlier on for whatever particular reason, outside of just building better family structures or healthy family structures? There's something else behind it, right? Not everybody has the right agenda by young adults being sexually active or mating or marrying earlier. Not everybody has it. We do know that some people have good agendas, and we also know that people have hidden agendas behind these things, right? So we as parents, we as adults, we have to keep our eyes open. I'm going to also show you another thing too, because this is what kind of drove me insane when it came down to um, them them approving Christianity Bible teachings in the curriculum in Texas, right? And it's also not only happening in Texas. I'm sorry, not in Texas. In Texas, it's not only happening in Texas. They're also trying to implicate this in Oklahoma, and as of right now, Oklahoma, Texas, and Ohio, right? So these are the states that now are gearing up that the Bible and Christianity and is going to be pretty much the number one curriculum. They're saying that these are electives, but it's not going to be electives. Even in Oklahoma, the representative of Oklahoma is now forcing those schools to play his video praying over uh, our elected president, President Trump, praying over him as how we used to do when we had to stand for the national, the national anthem of the flag, right? Now he is saying that schools have to play his video of him praying for President Trump. And I don't know what's going on, but it's getting ugly out here, guys. It's getting really ugly. But I want you to see the contradiction, because one of the main things about these people who are heavily religious, who are now trying to enforce people to be religious and saying that the church need to be in schools. These are the same individuals, right? These are the same individuals that it was just found out that three different churches choir was singing Madonna's Like a Prayer at church. And the irony about these choirs singing Madonna's version of the song Like a Prayer is Madonna's song was not about God. Madonna's song was about giving blowjobs. It was about giving blowjobs. That's what Like a Prayer was for. That song is about giving blowjobs. And the churches churches is now using Madonna's song Like a Prayer, and the choir are singing it, and y'all are singing about blowjobs and y'all don't even know it. Y'all don't even know that y'all singing about blowjobs. So again, you want to enforce religion and all the stuff back into school and all the stuff like that. However, you take one of the artists who is known, who is notorious of being known of being promiscuous and very sexual liberated, and you take one of her songs and you're playing it in your doggone choir in church. You're playing a song for someone who's promiscuous. Like that is the crazy. That is the craziest thing I ever seen in my entire life. Y'all singing songs about blowjobs. It's like a little prayer. Come on and take you there in the midnight hour. I can feel your power. Just call my name. You know I take you. How the fuck? How the hell are you singing about blowjobs in the Lord's building? You come on. Come on. What is going on here, yo? It is the end of the world as we know it, ladies and gentlemen. It is the end of the motherfucking world as we know it, okay? Like, this is crazy. Yes, I heard of Madonna Swept Away. I did. I have heard of that one. Yes, I have, Roy. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. And even the other one when it says they were also playing the other one, the song Take Me to Church. They don't even know what that song is about. It's not when just because a song uses the word church, that does not mean that they are talking about our Heavenly Father. Okay, that doesn't mean that like don't saints what is this sadists, don't sadists have churches, don't witches have churches, covenants and stuff like that? Like, why do you, once you hear the word church, you automatically assume that they are talking about Jesus Christ or our Lord Father Jehovah Jireh? Why do you think that? Why? Like, this is crazy. This is insane. This is insane. They're singing songs that has nothing to do with God. And they think because of the words that they can flip it around and make it seem like this is what them talking about our Heavenly Father. No, you are using my head hurts. My head hurts. It really does. It really does. It really does. Like, you're using music that would actually be quote unquote condemned by the church or religion. You know what I'm saying, in itself, and that just goes to show that if churches who think that they know everything and that they think that they are the right ones and all the stuff like that are doing this, then obviously we can tell what the real deal is. The real deal is it really doesn't have anything about bringing us close to the good book. It doesn't have anything to bringing us close to God and being more spiritually bound. That has nothing to do with it. These people, as we have always known, not all, but these particular type of people are using religion once again to control masses for their own hidden agendas. This is all it has always been about, ladies and gentlemen. It's always been about control. So again, if you are in Texas, be mindful. I suggest my opinion. You don't have to take my opinion. You got to do what you got to do, depending on, on whatever your situation is. But if you could, please start homeschooling your children. Please start homeschooling your children. And if our elected President Trump, if he goes through completely demolishing the Board of Education, I really do advise everybody to think about homeschooling, because you're not going to have no protections. Your children is not going to have any form of protections, okay? Obviously, I showed you the article about those boys being sexually assaulted racially discriminated against, called the N-word, called a monkey, and all the stuff like that. And then they even sexually assaulted a white boy who wanted to defend his other classmates. But what did the school do? The school did nothing. The school didn't report it, and that was literally a requirement by state law in Texas to report incidents of that sort, hazing or all that, and they did not do it. The coaches, administrators did not report anything, and those kids had to deal with months because, mind you, this happened in May of this year. So now it's coming back in the news due to the simple fact that there's an actual real lawsuit, a class lawsuit that's out for that district and everything, in reference to what happened to those boys. So that's why it actually resurfaced again. Okay. So again, people, please, if you could get your kids out these goddamn school, shit is about to go left. Shit is about to go haywire. Okay. Do not trust it. Do not trust it. Do not trust it. Do not trust anyone. Do not trust anyone with your children. Do not trust anyone. I repeat, do not trust anyone with your kids. No one. No one. This is the era of fuck around and find out. Do not trust your kids with anyone. There is no trust out here. There's no trust out here. You got to be hawks. You got to be tiger moms. You got to do whatever you got to do. Helicopter parents. I don't give a fuck. Do it because your kids are being set up to be indoctrinated to things that you might not know and might not see. They wanted to scare you. They scared us a lot when it came down to other communities participating in things that you didn't want your kids to be participating in because it goes against what you have set up in your household. Well, guess what? This is something else that you're going to have to think about, right? This is the other side of the coin, right? Because what happens is when they put certain things in, and if that doesn't work, they always have another one to replace on the other side for you. So you got to look at both things at both sides. Don't just look at only one thing. They want you to stay tunnel focused on one thing. They want you only to get upset about one thing. No, look at so many things that is going on and that is going to affect your kids, okay? Look at it all. Look at it all. I repeat. But to bring it to a good side, right? Shout out to my state. Even though we got a lot of crazy stuff going on, at least I could highlight some good thing. Our state, New York State, just became the first state to approve paid prenatal care for leave for workers. So that means that instead of you only having getting care and getting leave until after the child is born, you are actually going to get paid leave for while you are pregnant. So shout out to New York State for doing that, right? That is very, very good because a lot of people are not set up to where they have proper prenatal care where they can get their actual proper visits so they can stay healthy and they can track what's going on throughout pregnancies. Okay, so now that is a paid situation. That is something that is going to help a lot of families, and I'm like, shout out to New York for that because that's something that we need to do, right? One thing I have always said, even when it came down to the baby deletions, we can go beside that. We can't do nothing about that. That's something that's water under the bridge, right? We have to move beyond that. But I like the fact that we are now being proactive. If we want to continue having pregnancies and stuff like that, guess what? If we have the proper prenatal care, then that will also help eliminate where we have pregnancies that turn bad when it gets down to the point where when the child is actually supposed to come out. We can stop a lot of fatal pregnancies. So that to me is always a plus. That's always a good thing, and I hope that spreads. I hope that that's something that spreads to all other states. You know what I'm saying? That would give women a little bit more comfortability to know what's going on and things to be properly tracked and not have to come out of the family's pocket to do that. You know what I'm saying? I hope that happens and it spreads to everybody. Well, that's my news for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you like it. But listen, all these articles is online. Read for them yourself. Don't just take only my, what I say and my opinions with it. Go research and do the work for yourself. But I want to thank every single one of you guys for just rocking out with me for this short 30 minutes. I said I was going to let y'all enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and I'm going to head into work. But I appreciate you all, and y'all have a lovely night. Take care. See you on the next one.